Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the second lecture of alternating current. In this lecture, we will study about an AC voltage applied to resistor, an AC circuit containing inductor only, an AC circuit containing a pure capacitor only. An AC applied to a resistor. Consider a resistor connected with an AC source whose EMF is given by epsilon equals to epsilon naught sine omega t. Let I be the instantaneous value of current through the circuit. So, epsilon equals to IR, or we can say I is equal to epsilon upon R. Now substitute the value of epsilon, we will get epsilon naught sine omega t upon R. Now epsilon naught upon R can be written as I naught, so I will be equal to I naught sine omega t, where I naught is called as the peak value of the current. Now comparing equation 1 and equation 2, we can see that the current is always in phase with the applied voltage. Here the figure A shows the phase relationship between the voltage and the current, and figure B is the corresponding phasor diagram. From figure A we can see that both voltage and current are obtaining their maximum and minimum values simultaneously. An AC circuit containing an inductor only. Consider an ideal inductor of self-inductance L connected across AC source. Let the EMF be a source of epsilon equals to epsilon naught sine of omega t. As the current I is flowing through the inductor, a back EMF is produced in it, which opposes the change in the current and hence the applied EMF. So, the net value of applied EMF at instant t is given by E net equals to epsilon minus L di upon dt, where L di upon dt is the back EMF across the inductor. So, as we know that E net equals to I into R, and as there is no resistance in the circuit, so E net will be equal to 0. So the equation 1 will become epsilon minus L di upon dt equals to 0, or we will say epsilon equals to L di upon dt. From here we will get di equals to epsilon upon L into dt. We can substitute the value of epsilon. We will get epsilon naught sine omega t dt upon L. Now integrating this equation on both sides, we will get integration of di equals to epsilon naught upon L integration of sine omega t dt. On solving, we will get I equals to epsilon naught upon L. Integration of sine of omega t is minus cos omega t upon omega. We can take omega outside. We will get I equals to minus epsilon naught upon omega L cos of omega t. Now, cos omega t can be written as I equals to minus epsilon naught upon omega L sin pi by 2 minus omega t. With the help of this negative sign, the equation can be rewritten as I equals to epsilon naught upon omega L sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now, if we compare this equation with I equals to I naught sin omega t, we can see that the peak value of current on comparing is equal to I naught equals to epsilon naught upon omega L. Here omega L is called as the inductive reactance of the inductor and is denoted by XL. So, XL equals to omega L. The value of omega is 2 pi mu. So, XL will be equal to 2 pi mu L. Inductive reactance. It is defined as the opposition created by an inductor to the flow of current through it. Its SI unit is ohm. If DC current flows through an inductor, then the frequency mu equals to 0. So the equation will become XL equals to 2 pi L into 0, which is equal to 0. It means that a pure inductor does not opposes the flow of DC through it. So the equation 1 will become now I equals to I naught sin of omega t minus pi by 2. As for an inductor, epsilon equals to epsilon naught sin omega t and I equals to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. This relationship shows that current lags behind the voltage by a phase of pi by 2. The figure A shows the phase relationship between voltage and current, and figure B is the corresponding phasor diagram. From figure A, we can see that when the voltage is having the maximum value, the current is having the minimum value, and when the current is having the maximum value, the voltage is having the minimum value. An AC circuit containing pure capacitance. Consider an ideal capacitor of capacitance C connected across an AC source. Let the applied EMF be epsilon equals to epsilon naught sin omega t. As the applied EMF changes, the charge Q on the capacitor also changes, and consequently an alternating current flows through the circuit. Since the resistance of the circuit is 0, so the potential difference between the plates of the capacitor V is always equal to the applied EMF epsilon. Therefore, V equals to epsilon. Take this as equation 1. From the definition of capacitance of a capacitor, that is Q equals to CV, we can write V equals to Q upon C. Now, using equation 2 in 1, we will get Q upon C equals to epsilon. So, Q will be equal to C into epsilon. Now, epsilon can be written as epsilon naught sin omega t. So, this equation will become Q equals to C epsilon naught sin omega t. Take this as equation 3. Now taking derivative of equation 3 on both sides, we will get dq by dt equals to c epsilon naught d by dt sin omega t. As dq by dt is the current flowing through the circuit, so dq by dt can be written as I equals to c epsilon naught. Derivative of sin omega t is omega cos omega t. So we will get I equals to omega c epsilon naught cos omega t. The equation 4 can be rewritten in the form I equals to epsilon naught 1 by omega c, and cos of omega t can be written in the form of sin omega t plus pi by 2. Here 1 by omega c is called as the capacitive reactance of the capacitor. So 1 by omega c is the capacitive reactance of the capacitor and is denoted by xc. So xc equals to 1 by omega c. xc equals to 1 by omega c can be written as 1 by 2 pi mu c, where mu is called as the frequency. For a DC current, frequency mu equals to 0, so xc will be equal to 1 upon 0, or we will say xc is equal to infinity, which means that the capacitor offers infinite resistance to the flow of the DC current. Capacitive reactance. It is defined as the opposition offered by a capacitor to the flow of current through it. Its SI unit is ohm. As I equals to epsilon naught upon 1 by omega c sin omega t plus pi by 2. This value epsilon naught upon 1 by omega c is called as the peak value of current. So this equation will become I equals to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. Also 1 by omega c is called as the capacitive reactance xc. Now as we know that epsilon equals to epsilon naught sin of omega t, so when we compare these two equations of voltage and current, we can see that the current is leading the voltage by a phase of pi by 2. The figure A here shows the phase relationship between voltage and current, and figure B is the corresponding phasor diagram. From figure A, we can see that the current I is ahead of voltage in phase by pi by 2. Now some questions for practice. Find the maximum value of current when an inductance of 1 Henry is connected to an AC source of 220 volt and 50 Hz. Now the given values are inductance L equals to 1 Henry, effective EMF, or we will say RMS voltage, is equal to 220 volts, and frequency mu equals to 50 Hz. As the inductive reactance is given by XL equals to omega L, and omega can be written as 2 pi mu. So XL equals to 2 pi mu L. On substituting the values, we will get XL equals to 314 ohm. Now to calculate the maximum value of current, that is given by I naught equals to epsilon naught upon inductive reactance, that is XL. As we know that RMS value of voltage, that is epsilon effective, is equal to epsilon naught upon under root 2. So from here epsilon naught is written as under root 2 epsilon effective. So I naught is equal to under root 2 epsilon effective upon XL. On substituting the values and solving further, we will get I naught equals to 0.9 amperes. A 1.5 microfarad capacitor has a capacitive reactance of 12 ohm. What is the frequency of the source? If the frequency of the source is doubled, what will be the capacitive reactance? The given values are, that is, capacitance of a capacitor is 1.5 microfarad, which can be written as 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. The capacitive reactance XC is equal to 12 ohm. As we know that the capacitive reactance is given by XC equals to 1 by omega C. Omega can be substituted as 2 pi mu, so XC equals to 1 by 2 pi mu C. On rearranging, we can calculate the frequency of the source, that is mu equals to 1 by 2 pi C XC. On substituting the values, we will get frequency equals to 8846 Hz. Now, if the frequency of the source is doubled, from here we can see that is the capacitive reactance XC is inversely proportional to 1 upon frequency mu. So if mu is doubled, then XC will become half of its initial value, which means that if the initial value of capacitive reactance XC was 12, so the new value of XC will be equal to half of 12, which is equal to 6 ohm.